Okay. Calling to order this meeting of the Borough of Sayreville Planning Board. Can everyone please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Good evening, everyone. Beth, has this meeting been advertised in accordance with the Open Public Meetings Act?
Yes, Vice Chairman, it has.
Thank you. We have a roll call, please?
Mr. Candell, Mr. Allegra,
Here.
Mr. Elmeyer, Ms. Larman. Here. Mr. Mueller,
Here.
Mr. Shaw. Here. Mr. Volosин, Mr. Williams, Councilman Zabrowski, Chairman Tai. We have a quorum.
Thank you. Before we start, I'd like to just welcome Mr. Williams to the board and congratulations and welcome. We look forward to working with you. I also know that this is the last meeting for some of our members. One in particular, Jim Allegra, I just wanted to acknowledge. I've been with you on this board, I think, for almost 4 years, and you've always been prepared. You've always looked out for the best interests of the people in Sayreville. You've always treated applicants with respect, and most of all, you've always conducted yourself with the utmost integrity. So I want to thank you for your service on this board. We will miss you, and hopefully you'll consider rejoining.
Thank you.
Okay, any resolutions, Beth?
None this evening.
Any minutes?
Yes, we have minutes from the November 6th meeting.
Okay. Is there a motion with respect to the minutes?
Make a motion that the minutes for the November 6th meeting be accepted.
Or a second?
Second.
All in favor? All opposed? Okay. Communication agenda?
None this evening.
Any site plan subdivisions?
No, none this evening.
Old business, new business?
Yes, we have two matters to discuss. The first one we can discuss is a memo from the clerk's office regarding ordinance. This is it. Sorry. Sorry. Resolution 2024-289, authorizing the planning board to explore whether the property identified at various blocks and lots, which the blocks and lots noted will be 15 properties, block 466, 2.01 and 2.02, block 445, lots 1.01, 1.02, 1.03, 2.03, 2.04, 3.01, 4.03, 4.04, 4.05, 4.06, 5.03, 5.04, and block 449.07, lots 1.01, 2.01, and 3.01.
Thank you, Beth. That was a lot, I know.
That was a lot.
Jay, could you just give us a brief explanation of these amendments to the Hercules redevelopment plan, please?
Mr. Chairman, this resolution that Beth just read is for the redevelopment area by the mini mall. So the one you're referring to is the next one.
Okay, I'm sorry.
She just read the block and lots for the mini mall redevelopment. That was a proposal that was sent by the redevelopment agency to the mayor and council, which in turn referred it to the planning board. They're looking for you to prepare a study to see if that meets the criteria for redevelopment.
Okay. And Joe, what is our obligation as the planning board with respect to that request?
The planning board conducts the actual investigation as to whether or not it meets the criteria to be deemed an area in need of redevelopment. So if what the planning board would do is adopt a resolution authorizing the conducting of the preliminary investigation, the planner would then conduct the investigation. A public hearing will be held before the planning board where the planner will present his or her findings. And then the board either recommends that the the borough council deems the areas in need of redevelopment or a portion thereof, or doesn't, because it doesn't find that it meets those criteria. And then that gets referred to the council.
Great, thank you. So is there a motion to direct the planning board's engineer and planner to conduct the study of the proposed redevelopment area?
Mr. Chairman, if I might, I think the way the resolution that your attorney prepared, it's typically done by the planner, and I think it's either the board's planner or another planner if selected by the board.
Thank you. So it would be our planner then?
I believe that the other study being prepared for the Journey Mill Road property is being done by the Sarah planner. I think that the intention may be to have the Sarah planner do this as well.
So the resolution that's before us, Mr. Chairman, states that it will be performed either by the board planner or other duly appointed planner by the borough. So it gives that flexibility to determine who's going to follow through on this one, perform the study on this one, I should say.
So it could be either Michael or we can use Sarah's planner?
Correct.
Okay. And is there any suggestions in terms of our engineer? Jay, is there a preference who we would normally use?
Well, Mr. Chairman, I believe that Sarah has already appointed their planner to do this study, which is how they handled the Journey Mill Road study.
Okay,
So I don't think there's any action required by this board specifically with regard to the planner. When that study's complete, the planner will come here and present it to you, and then you'll take action based upon what was prepared.
okay. So just so we're clear, Sarah Planner is going to prepare the study. The study will be presented to the planning board. The planning board will have a public hearing and make a decision on it.
Correct.
Great. So there's nothing we need to do on that.
You'll just adopt your resolution this evening that allows the process to move forward.
Okay.
Correct.
Is there a motion on the resolution?
Make a motion that we adopt the resolution 2024-289.
Is there a second? Second. Okay. We have to do a formal roll call, Beth?
Yes.
Okay.
Mr. Allegra?
Yes.
Ms. Larmen?
Yes.
Mr. Mueller?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Williams?
Yes.
Councilman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, so now we're going to deal with the memo regarding resolution number 2024-288. It's a resolution by the Borough of Sayreville recommending amendments to the Hercules redevelopment plan to the planning board review pursuant to NJSA 40A:12A-7 subsection E. Jay, can you just give us a brief overview of the proposed amendments?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. I provided a handout to all the board members. It's in front of you. It's a colored sheet, 2 pages. I figured it easier for me to explain it looking at this so you understand what's being proposed. The first sheet is the existing Hercules redevelopment plan. The area that's highlighted in yellow is the development of the 3 warehouses that have been constructed. The orange road is the roadway that's been constructed as part of that project. The original redevelopment plan called for that road to be extended across the railroad tracks and connecting to Hartle Street, which in turn would connect to Journey Mill Road. The problem is that the railroad will not allow that extension to cross the tracks, and there are also environmental constraints with wetlands. So that circled area that originally was on the redevelopment plan can no longer be constructed. So what's being proposed now is if you turn to the second page, that roadway extension is now going to be a cul-de-sac, and the road that's shown here in red will be the roadway that's relied on for the future development of the balance of the property. The amendments also require that before any applications are made to the planning board, before any building permits are issued, all the permits are in place for that roadway. And that roadway that's shown in red has to be constructed before any COs are issued for the future development of that section 3 of the project.
Okay.
So that's really what the amendments have to do with it. It's because you couldn't build the original road, you're revising the agreement or the redevelopment plan to now reflect this revised road layout.
Joe, in terms of our obligation with respect to this amendment, what do we have to do?
This is a referral similar to a zoning ordinance being referred to the planning board for its review as to whether or not the amendments are consistent with the master plan. This board has already done so in adopting the original redevelopment plan. So the question is whether these amendments are still consistent with what the master plan is, including the amendments that the board adopted earlier this year.
And are these amendments, would they be reviewed by our professionals on the board?
Yes, I know I reviewed them, and I believe they're consistent. I defer to Jay and Michael, see if they in agreement.
Yeah, our office was involved with the redevelopment agency in developing this. There was a lot of back and forth. There were a lot of different alignments for that road extension to see if there's any other way to get a connection out to Journey Mill Road. Unfortunately, due to private property, due to environmental constraint with wetlands, there really was no other option. So that's where this red road came in, because that's a constructible roadway.
Okay. Michael, did you have any issues with respect to the proposed amendments?
No. So again, a roadway need to be constructed. It sounds like they've got an alternate plan, so I'm fine with that also.
So there's no further analysis or study that's required by our professionals?
At this point, Mr. Chairman, I think you really just need to confirm that it's consistent with the master plan, and that resolution that's drafted indicates that. So the process goes back to the mayor and council, and then the mayor and council would have a public hearing on the ordinance and then adopt the amendments to that redevelopment plan.
Just curious, that road was originally supposed to go where it was originally supposed to go. What happened? I mean, the original plan called for it. Was it just,
The borough
were there
master,
some changes or something?
no, the borough master plan going back to the mid-eighties when it was developed, this was called the Washington Road bypass. So the intention was to have another road parallel to Washington Road to try to alleviate all the traffic on Washington Road. Part of the roadway was built. If you, Hartle Street, if you know where that is off of Journey Mill Road, there's landscaping on a corner. That's a dead-end roadway. So it was always intended to have that cross the railroad tracks and then make its way out to Cheesequake Road as part of this project. Unfortunately, the railroad, because of the proximity to a switching station that's located, if you look at this plan where that kind of triangle area is, they felt the crossing was too close to that switching station. The developer proposed relocating it to do whatever was necessary to allow Conrail to permit that crossing, and Conrail wouldn't budge. They said, we're not going to allow it. And in addition, you do have wetlands in the area, so that's another hurdle you have to overcome to build a roadway. But the main issue was Conrail not allowing the crossing at that location.
I just remembered on the last resolution, did we have to open it up to the public for
No.
comment? Okay.
Yeah, none of these are public.
None of
comment.
these are. Okay, just wanted to make sure. Do any of the members of the planning board have any questions or? Sure, okay.
Jay, how far down Journey Mill Road is this gonna come out?
This is coming out all the way near Sunshine Biscuit.
Okay, that's what I thought.
A road that goes back to the power plant that's there, North Jersey Energy Power Plant. So
Mhm.
that's the area that'll come out.
Okay.
Anyone else have any questions, comments, Jim?
I do. I mean,
Sure.
when you, the original red, I guess the green road was supposed to go across as a bypass. Now that it's not gonna be a bypass anymore, what's the purpose of the green road with the cul-de-sac?
To allow development of that section 3. So it's that area could still potentially could be developed, but instead of having a through road, it'll be cul-de-sac.
Similar zoning as what the.
The zoning's not changing, so the redevelopment plan zoning is all the same. It's just that anything that referred to, if you look at this plan, is actually blue. So any reference in that redevelopment plan to the blue road is now being changed to refer to the red road. And in addition to that, you have the other conditions about getting all the permits in place to make sure it can be built before building permits are issued, and also it being built before any COs are issued for that section 3 property.
I have one more question. Doesn't this road still have to cross the railroad tracks at some point?
I don't believe it does in that area.
No? Okay.
That road partially exists now. It provides access to the power plant, so there is,
Run all the way up Journey Mill Road.
correct, adjacent to parallel to Journey Mill Road between the road and Sunshine Biscuit, it'll cross those tracks. But the problem you had with the other roadway, the railroad set back a lot further.
Okay.
That's where Hartle Street would have crossed.
Any other questions or comments by the board? No? Okay. Is there a motion regarding the resolution for the amendment of the Hercules redevelopment plan?
I'll
Make a motion to accept resolution 2024-288.
Second?
Second.
Roll call?
Mr. Allegra?
Yeah.
Ms. Larmen?
Yes.
Mr. Mueller?
Yes.
Mr. Shaw?
Yes.
Mr. Williams? Councilman Zabrowski?
Yes.
Thank you.
Okay, I think the next thing we have is the upcoming calendar for 2025, Beth, is that what it is?
No, we have to open up to the public.
Okay,
Motion to open to the public?
second?
Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?
Anyone from the public like to be heard on any matter? Sir? Good evening.
There it is. Hi. I just had a quick question. Do you need my name or anything, or my name is Josh Fair. I live in Sayreville in the Parlin area. Just had a quick question. Who would be the best person to talk to if I wanted to discuss sort of substantial changes or modifications to the configuration of an existing roadway, such as modifications of the number of lanes or the speed limit? or, the existence of a shoulder or anything like that.
Are you talking about for like safety purposes or?
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, I've had some similar issues with some local roads that we wanted to get stop signs and what for, and I think
Sure.
I was referred to the police department in the first instance. If it's a traffic safety issue, am I right, Tommy? Would you, or Jay, or anyone want to jump in?
Sergeant Braille is the traffic safety officer in the borough. He works in their police department traffic safety division. I would start with him. I'm not sure what road where you're referring to. If you're talking about a borough road, a county road, a DOT road. So it
Yeah.
depends on the road as to maybe who you end up talking to.
And frankly, I think the segment as well, because it's Ernston Road, so I think that is controlled in various different places by various different authorities. So it's outside of Camelot at Lemire. So I think that area is controlled by the borough.
It's a borough road.
Yeah.
yes.
So if he would be a good person to talk to, then I'm happy to
Braille
follow
and
up with him.
traffic safety division of the police department. I would start with him.
Sergeant Braille, you said?
Sergeant Braille,
Perfect.
yes.
Thank you so much.
You got it. Anyone else from the public like to be heard? Seeing no one, I'll entertain a motion to close to the public.
Make a motion to close to the public. Second.
Young man, do you have anything to say there? No, you're good? You sure? Okay, we're gonna close it. All in favor? Aye. Opposed? Okay,
Next on the agenda is our next meeting will be January 15th. That'll be a reorganization and a regular meeting. Jay?
Mr. Chairman, you have the redevelopment agency planner is going to be appearing and we're talking about the Journey Mill Road redevelopment plan. You recall that that was authorized earlier this year, so adding some additional properties to that Hercules redevelopment plan. So that'll be a presentation for your next meeting.
okay. Okay, and we have this calendar set, so we're all good with that. Anything else for the good in order? Want to wish everyone a happy holiday, and it's been a pleasure working with you all this year, and I look forward to working with everyone next year. And Jim, good luck, and hopefully we'll see you back. Anything else? No?
It's a motion to adjourn.
Motion to adjourn?
Make a motion to adjourn. Second.
All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed?